Hi, this is the City of Singles with your hosts Chelsea Beller and Drew Landry, and this week we have Kyle Rehl back on the show. Kyle gets real with us about his self-quarantine, going into a new relationship, and hosting Zoom comedy shows. Let's get into it. Yeah, how are you?
How's it going?
Pretty good. It's weird not to see your mop of hair.
I know, right? And I'm like a silhouette. I look all mysterious.
Yeah, definitely mysterious.
Just a cool looking shadow.
Hey, Kyle.
What up, what up?
Hey,
How
what's
are
up,
ya?
man?
How's it going?
Good
Good.
to see you. Without a mask.
Yeah, I know. You look like you're being interviewed like as an FBI informant or something.
I know. They put like a fake low voice.
That's so funny. I was literally trying to think of what that reminded me of, and you nailed it, Kyle.
How have you been, Chelsea?
Pretty good. Pretty good, you know, considering the world's in turmoil, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I like your hair. It's
Oh,
different.
thank you. Yeah, I'm growing it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Drew holds us all off.
He went the opposite. Yeah. What you been up to during quarantine?
Oh, dude. Not a lot. Just, trying to stay busy. I started dating somebody.
How's that going?
Good. It's going good. Because both of my roommates left, so, I was alone by myself for, a week, which was not good.
I remember that.
Got it.
I remember visiting you, the first week of pandemic and being like, I hope someone needs to live with them. I can't imagine being alone during the pandemic, especially during the beginning.
Yeah.
But it's been good since then. We're relatively speaking,
Yeah.
As good as it can be.
Yeah, just trying to stay sane, doing some video editing, working on social media shit. I'm working part-time for my job.
So I forget, how long you've been dating this girl?
Yeah, that was my question.
So her name's Maddie. We met in August, and we had been kind of casually seeing each other for several months. And then kind of right before the pandemic, we got in a big fight, and then we stopped seeing each other, and then didn't talk for 2 weeks, and then got together during quarantine. So we've been, I guess, official whatever, dating since March.
Wow.
But yeah.
Are you quarantining together?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which has been good because like I said, I've just been here by myself, no roommates. So
yeah, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. I went insane for sure.
Now, I remember, when I visited your apartment, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I'm like, if no one lives with Kyle in a week, he's going to jump out of his window.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I already wrote, my R.I.P. Kyle Rehl post. He was a great friend, a great comic.
Thank you. That's very thoughtful.
Well, yeah, just in case. I deleted it. I don't think you're going to jump out of a window anymore. But it was, in my notes for a while, and I'm like, I don't want to post this. If I have to.
What does she do?
She is a production designer, which is really cool. She's very crafty with stuff. She makes all kind, basically just stuff for movies, props and sets and all that kind of stuff. She's very good at she has a really good vision, and it's really interesting watching movies with her because she will talk about stuff in the background, different color schemes, what they mean, and stuff I never even thought about.
Oh,
it's kind of what you guys are saying with my job. It's it's just the thing. You're oh yeah, I guess someone does put all the stuff in the background there.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily think about it a lot, but it's cool. So it's changed my view of how I watch movies or whatever. But she's also just very good at just making stuff. She made a coffee table for our living room, and she we went on a walk one day and we found these chairs that people were just throwing away.
Yeah.
She's no, these are great. They look terrible to me. I was I don't think this is salvageable. And she's no, this is great. This will go great with your table. And then so we brought them back, and then she worked on them for a couple hours, and it looked amazing. She stained them, and she fixed some of them were broken, the parts of it, and she fixed it, and it does completely match my table, and it looks great. Like, you would have thought it was like a set that you would just buy.
Oh
like
my
at a store.
God.
Yeah, so she's really cool to live with. She's like the handyman of the relationship, which is kind of funny. Yeah, so it's been great, you know.
Oh, that's
and,
awesome.
Like, my apartment before, it was like really sad and blank walls, like flat, being a little lonely guy or whatever. And she's helped spruce the place up quite a bit, so it's nice. It's like gives me like structure or whatever.
That's helpful, especially right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I'm happy for you.
Meet her?
We met on Hinge.
Oh, nice.
Hinge is cool. I like Hinge.
That was always my favorite one because it gave you a chance to try to be funny.
Yeah, and I think you get a better idea of like people's personalities on Hinge.
Oh, definitely.
I think so.
Moms I like a lot, and like all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, I think that's where I met the coolest people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Almost everyone I met on Tinder was a sociopath.
Yeah.
I did meet like one crazy person on Hinge. That was the person I talked about the last time I was on you guys' podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the one that said, "You're not Jewish, are you?"
No. That was a while ago.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah. This girl got really drunk while we were at a restaurant, and she started yelling at me for like no reason. It was just like, "Fuck you," and I was like, "What is going on?" And then she's like crying, and like it was making a scene. And this was like 3 p.m. on a Sunday. You know, it was like outside, and like people were looking at us, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, are you okay?
Sounds incredible.
Yeah, and then like a second later, she was like, "No, I'm fine." And then like another minute went by, and she was doing it again. I was like, "Okay, I don't think you're really having a great time. So how about I just walk you home?" Because her like house was nearby. And she's like, "Fine." And we're walking home. This is on Melrose. And like as we're walking to her house, she turns around and she screams, "Stop following me!" at me. And there's like people around. This is like in public, busy street. And I'm like, "Oh no, this looks so bad for me right now."
I forget, because I remember around when that happened, and I think this is the same girl, you posted, I think, on your Instagram story and like blurred out her name, but like a text conversation where she's like, "Did I drink too much yesterday?" And you're just like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it was that person.
You're like, "Yeah, you did."
I was so scared. Like after she said that, I was like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna let you go home," because like I was just trying to be nice and like.
Yeah.
And then like I immediately started like recording a video on my phone and like describing what happened. Like I don't know, just in case like she's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Used as evidence.
Yeah. It was terrifying.
Have you been doing any stand-up Zoom things?
Yeah. So I was a little skeptical about that at first. I think everyone kind of is. So I think I've done like 5. Maybe,
cool.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
And like half of them were not great, and then the other half where they just kind of treated it like a normal show, and you like, do your bits. Like those ones were pretty fun. There was like a little slice of like what it actually is like to do it in front of real people.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, even if they tell them like to mute their microphones, like you can still see people laughing if you go to like the grid view.
Yeah.
But yeah, that I enjoyed those shows. Sometimes they're a little too loose with like the structure of the show, and like people are all riffing and talking over each other, and like that's not as enjoyable for me because it's just like it's hard to follow.
Right.
And then actually, me and my friend who used to work with me at the place I work at right now, we started our own show. It's a Twitch show, and have you guys ever heard of Quiplash?
Oh yeah, I love Quiplash.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Cool. I'll have you guys on it for sure. It's just like we call it comedians and computers playing Quiplash.
Got it.
Yeah, and it's super fun. Like we just play Quiplash basically, and people watch it, and like the audience, the people who are watching, they can use the room code and vote. So like they sway like who wins and who loses or whatever.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like interactive even though it's online. So yeah, I like it a lot. We've done 3 shows so far. He wants to keep doing it even after the pandemic. I'm like, yeah, I'm behind it. I think it's cool. So yeah, I think this like whole pandemic thing has like really made people realize like the importance of the internet and like building like a fan base or like getting your art out there in general. Because I know I used to be kind of like, oh, that's stupid social media bullshit or whatever, like, you know.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, the only thing that matters is stand up, which I still love, but like I think it makes sense to put some effort into showing your art online, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like that's how you find people who like what you do. So
totally.
Have you guys done any Zoom shows or anything?
I haven't, but I know Drew has.
Yeah, I did a few. Well, I did a Zoom mic when this first started, and it was awful because it was depressing, and it was just people talking about what's going on with no punchlines. But then I was like, wait, then this is just a normal mic. You know what I mean? Like, it was just a bunch of hacks with no jokes talking about how they're quarantining. I'm like, I want to hear a joke. But then I did a Zoom show that was really fun. But then a Zoom show I did recently, it got Zoom bombed, which I didn't know was a thing. And like tons of random people like logged in, and it was during my set. And first off, they started like playing really loud music and annoying sound effects and started heckling and yelling like mean sarcastic shit, and I was like, what's this? And then I looked at the chat, and literally at least 100 times in a row, and they actually said the word, they didn't censor it, but it was just I hate N-words 100, like all of them just kept typing that. And there were like multiple black comics on the lineup. So it was awful. And then I even said, I was like, I can't, even when we kicked them out, I was like, I can't do a set right now. It would just feel weird.
Yeah.
Like after 100 N-words, I can't just be like, so you guys on these apps? Like,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way, like I can't just do my act after that.
Oh,
and I don't feel equipped to do some like clever commentary on, you know, our moment in terms of race relations right now. Like there's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
So I just kind of bowed out of my set.
Damn. Well, that's definitely way worse than my experience.
It was crazy. And I was thinking about putting on a Zoom show, and then after that I was like, I don't think so.
Well, wait, so I think the thing is that, so I'm guessing whoever was running that show, like, publicly...
They publicly put the password, which I think is where they fucked up.
You can't.
I think it should be like an RSVP system.
Yeah.
Where, like, they send it individually. Because they tweeted and put it on Facebook and Instagram, like, here's the code and the passwords. I think that's how that happened.
I mean, I was obviously hesitant to get in on it, but now that I'm, like, running a version of the show, I guess it's more like a theme show, I love it. It's so much fun. Like, I look forward to it, like, every week. It's just, like, a little slice of normal life.
Is it weekly?
Yeah, you need that right now.
Do you have it every week?
Yeah, it's every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Wednesday,
we do it on Twitch. My friend Alex Ramirez, I think that's the Twitch handle. But yeah, it's super fun. He got me in on it. I didn't even like come up with the idea. He asked me to do it, and I was like, sure, yeah, definitely. I love Quiplash.
I think
you guys miss stand-up?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Oh, I miss it so much.
For me, it's like I've been going to like therapy lately, which I'm happy to be doing because I needed it and like helped a lot. But through talking to my therapist, I kind of realized like how much stand-up was important for my mental health in terms of like clearing my mind and like forcing myself to be present. Because like when you're on stage and there's people looking at you, like you have to be there. Like you can't mentally think about others.
Absolutely.
So it's almost like kind of meditative. I never really thought about it that way until I started doing therapy. But so like, you know, that's a huge thing. And I used to do like pretty much almost every day. So not having that for for months has been tough because like, you know, then it's harder to clear your head or whatever. But, you know, I've been trying to give myself other things to do and trying to stay busy, you know, giving myself structure, which I think ultimately, like, I think this pandemic and that, in terms of that, like on an individual level, it has the potential to be a good thing because I've never been a person that's good without structure, just by myself. And I think it's kind of forcing people like me to have to make our own structure and like adapt to that kind of life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think it's good. I feel like I've grown in that one. But obviously, you know, it'd be really nice to be able to physically be in the same room with you guys doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Eventually.
How about you guys? How have you handled everything?
Drew?
Every day's different. I feel more stable than I did at the beginning of this. But yeah, some days it's just random. Like some days I'm in an amazing mood for no reason. Other days I'm in a fucking atrocious mood for no reason. Yeah. But I'm managing way better than I was a few months ago. More structure. I've been focusing a lot of my energy on exercising, which has been helpful. My friend, Chris Stanley, gave me advice because we can't go to the gym, to fill a suitcase with a shitload of books and do weight exercises with it, and it's the equivalent of weightlifting.
That's awesome.
So I've been exercising every day and focusing a lot of energy on that. I've been writing a lot, and just trying to stay busy and keep my mind occupied, because I realize I'm one of those people. I hate silence. I hate being still, and I can't be alone with my thoughts. Like, I always have to be doing something, even if it's something small.
I feel that. What kind of stuff have you been writing? Like, have you been writing bits, or are you writing?
I've been I have a lot of new bits, but it's stuff I'll come up with and text to myself. But when I sit down and try to write a bit, it doesn't work because it just makes me miss stand-up more. Because I'm like, why am I doing this? I won't be able to say this for like 25 years. So,
yeah.
Right.
But mostly scripts and articles. Like, I've been working on a pilot, and I was working on it for a long time. But when this started, it kind of gave me time to really work on it. So that's been nice. I've been focusing a ton of energy on that pilot. But mostly just working on that pilot and exercise.
See, like, even that, I'm like, damn, like, Drew is doing it. Like, I'm telling myself to work out more or whatever, and I probably do it, like, twice a week max.
Yeah.
I've tried to get back into running, and that's just, like, I've always hated running, like, cardio and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Me too.
I'm good at that. I'm more of, like, I always played sports where it was just, like, it wasn't really about endurance. It was just, like, fast burst stuff. So, like, just, like, sprints, like, running sprints. So my body's not necessarily built for it, but slowly getting into running for sure. Trying to do, you know what, Drew, you've challenged me, not on purpose, but
I challenge you.
Yeah, I'm going to work out more now. I hear you doing that, and also writing, I think, is key. That's for me. It's like being funny. For me, it's so hard to like capture that on a piece of paper or like in Word.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm much more of a performer, or like,
stand-up is well written. Like, you're not one of those comics where it depends on the performance. Like, your jokes are funny on paper too, and you have great stage presence. So I'd say you're a good writer too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I just mean like in terms of like writing scripts and stuff.
Yeah.
So my motivation for writing bits, like kind of like what you said, is just really low, and like I'm not feeling super inspired, because like I totally write based off like, okay, I have like a rough premise, and now I'm gonna try it out and see if it has legs, and then I'll go from there. But like it's hard for me to like think of an entire bit, like write it down to 2 pages of like a 5-minute bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's hard to, because going to mics and trying shit out is like such an essential part of that process. So it's like, if you can't do that, then it's kind of just like the infant version of a bit until mics are back, like real mics.
Yeah, because you could write a whole bit and like have it really structured and like callbacks and then like
and then you try it and it sucks.
Right.
And it's like back to square one.
Yeah.
Chelsea, what have you been doing? Have you been writing stuff? I know you write stuff.
Yeah. I go through phases. I think the first month or two I was really hitting the computer, I guess, with script writing. Lately, I've been very like introspective, and I'm really just like doing a lot of journaling, because I actually started therapy too, which is awesome. I miss aspects of stand-up. To respond to your previous question, I feel like I really miss improv, because I was taking Second City improv classes for a while, and my friend Liz and we started doing improv Zoom, just the two of us, just to practice and get like kind of back into the swing of that.
You guys just like, how do you come up with suggestions and stuff? If it's just the two of you, or do you kind of just have each other do it?
Yeah, she and we have such a fun, cool dynamic where like we'll just say something and start like riffing off each other, or she and I will come up with characters that then we'll like, okay, let's set up their location, who they are, their relationship, and then start dialogue and see what happens. So yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Is it helpful?
Yeah, it's
like, you feel like
Yeah, it's so helpful. It's really fun. It really gets me in that creative zone, so that's really cool.
You like find yourself like wanting to write sketches based off some of the scenes you guys do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like make more like content and stuff too. Like,
Yeah.
I've realized I have like a bunch of like stand-up clips that I can like put out on like, TikTok and stuff. I've also gotten into TikTok. I just getting into it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think also I just got frustrated because I didn't understand how it worked. Or, like,
Me neither.
I think collectively we probably have like several friends who are like really big on TikTok.
Really?
But like no one really knows or necessarily cares right now. But I think it's gonna replace like Instagram. Like in
I
terms
think
of,
so. Yeah.
because it's like it's like if you post like a stand-up clip on Instagram, the only people that are gonna see it are your followers for the most part.
Yeah.
It's really hard in their algorithm to go viral on Instagram. That just doesn't really happen.
Yeah.
Twitter is easier to go viral, but like TikTok, it's like it just spreads it to the masses. If it hits super hard or whatever. It seems like that's a great way to get followers and like a fan base now. So yeah, I'm trying to like come up.
like get in while it's like early enough where it's not oversaturated.
Absolutely, because like I think there was a point where like I used to work at a Laugh Factory and like I would make clips for them for their Instagram,
Yeah.
and those would, like blow up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was like 2 years ago, and now like they're still doing fine, but like their views are not nearly as high as they used to be, and that's like a page with like 1 million plus followers.
Right.
And
Wow.
like I've had friends that like their whole strategy was like post clips on Instagram, and like 2 years ago it worked for some of them and they got like really big off of it. But now I feel like if you try to do that, it's just not gonna work because it's super saturated, like you were saying, Drew. But also like the algorithm is like it's just not putting it on people.
Yeah, it's not gonna reach beyond your followers.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been posting stand-up clips on Instagram because I miss stand-up, and it's not really to go viral, but it's like this desperate thing, like, hey followers, you remember I'm funny, right? Remember when I did this?
Even if you're not a comic, you're like, oh, like, do you remember that? Like,
Yeah.
It's gonna
remember
feel
those days
amazing
where you
when
could
it's
go
back.
to, like, yeah. So I think
Like for the first month, like
uh,
shows are just gonna be fucking lit. I keep thinking about it.
yeah, I think everyone's gonna be bad at stand up for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Which is kind of gonna be nice, because I'll think, oh man, I'm gonna be rusty, but then I'm like, oh, everyone's gonna be.
We're all on an even playing field.
Yeah.
But I also think the audience would be fairly forgiving. Like, I don't think there's gonna be that many tough crowds.
Right.
I know I said like the first week was really rough for me, but like the first little bit of quarantine, I was like, this is kind of nice because like I think when you're really deep in the game of stand up, like there's so much bullshit that you worry about all the time.
It's nice to have a break from the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then there's the flip side where I wonder if there's a bunch of like unfunny people who have always wanted to try stand up, and then when this is over, they're like, this near-death experience made me realize I need to follow my dreams and do stand-up, and then it's like a bunch of like near-death experience comics.
Oh, jeez.
So prepare yourselves.
Yeah, I think happening too. There will be fewer comics in LA, which I'm excited about just from a competition standpoint.
Oh, me too. And just, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna feel so good to do stand-up again.
Yeah.
Like, and not even being on stage, but just the energy of a show.
Even just getting to see someone else perform will be fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Kyle, I remember we took a walk a few weeks ago, and like we were talking about comics who we're not even close to, like that we only see at shows that we miss. Where it's like, this is not a person I thought I'd miss, but like I miss this person.
Yes, for sure. There's those people too. We're like, yeah, like I'm not even friends with them, but I just enjoy their comedy so much.
Yeah, and enjoy their presence, and you're like, I miss this person that I've never talked to outside of comedy.
Right. Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Because like those people are super special because you don't even have to be friends with them, and you watch them, and they make you want to be better in comedy.
Yeah, and you feel. I feel like there's a lot of great comics where, even though you don't, when you watch them enough, you feel like you know them.
Yes.
Like one example that comes to my mind is Robert Schultz.
Dude, yeah, Robert is so funny. And
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious. And me and him are friendly, but like we've never hung out outside of comedy. And he's one of those dudes, I know nothing about him, but in my head I feel like I know everything about him from watching him on stage. I know I don't, but yeah, he's one of those people where I'm like, oh, he's so fucking funny, I just miss seeing him. There's like a bunch of those people.
Yeah.
I think for me, Simon Gibson is really...
Oh, God, he's fucking hysterical.
For me, I don't really know him that well. I've talked to him maybe like once or twice. But
I don't even know if I've had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
But I'll just see him around. Like, I don't even right now, I'm even thinking, does Simon Gibson know I exist? I have no idea, but he's very funny.
I stay awake at night, just rolling around in bed.
Does he wake up in a cold sweat? What's wrong? Simon Gibson might not know I exist.
I mean, there's also just like big name people or whatever that I like missing performance.
Oh, yeah. I miss Chris D'Elia.
You're fired.
Well, I don't know. I haven't been on the internet in a week.
Bro, I have some bad news.
Bro.
For me, I really like Rory Scovel a lot.
Oh, I love him. I've been meaning. Have you seen his Netflix special?
Yeah, it's so good.
It's one of my favorites. I haven't seen it in like 2 years. I've been meaning to rewatch it. It's hysterical.
Dude, the day before he filmed that special, I was in college in Athens, Georgia, and he did a show in Athens, and I went and saw it, and it was so fucking funny. And like, he was just so loose. It like blew my mind how loose he was. Like the set before he was going to film a special.
And I love how loose he is in the special, because it's one of those specials where it just feels like they're fucking around.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like, here is my polished hour that I've prepared. It's just like him goofing, and that makes it so much funnier.
Yeah, and I think that style definitely lends itself to like the nostalgia of live comedy, because it's like funny to watch on screen, but like when you're there and you're like a part of it, and you're feeding off of his energy and he's feeding off of your energy.
Yeah, and I feel like with a set like that, and then when there's callbacks, you almost feel like you're in on an inside joke with the comic.
For sure, absolutely. I actually got to meet him after that show, and he was like super nice. Like
I love hearing that.
He was like talking to everyone who came up to him that was at the show, and he was just like joking around with them and being very polite, like asking about the scene in Georgia and all that kind of stuff. Like, he seems like the coolest dude, but he's been releasing videos every week on YouTube, which I've been like, just like
old stand-up clips.
Yeah, which I like. Some of them are just from like earlier this year, but like they're so funny, and like
I gotta watch them.
Yeah, I just like watch them like studiously and like take notes and be like, oh, wow, okay,
yeah. How do I be you?
Yeah. How can I wear your skin, Rory?
Yeah.
Do you guys want to wrap up?
Do you have any closing statements?
Yeah. What's your closing argument, Kyle?
Yeah.
Wear a mask and don't vote for Trump.
Yay.
I agree with both those things.
Yeah, me too.
Oh wait, we were doing the podcast this whole time?
Oh, what?
Yeah, no, I guess I could plug stuff if that's okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course. Yeah, please do.
Check out on Twitch, Alex Ramirez is the name of the channel. The show is Comedians and Computers Playing Quiplash, and it's so fun. We just dick around and make funny jokes. And if you've never heard of Quiplash before, it's like basically like Cards Against Humanity meets like At Midnight. And
that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah, and if you watch, you can get to vote on all of the answers too, so you're like engaged in part of the audience and stuff.
Fun.
So check that out.
All right.
Cool. Thanks for coming on, Kyle.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. This is great. It's good to have some human interaction, even if it's through a screen.
I know, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna follow you on TikTok.
Dude, follow me on TikTok. One of my videos blew up this week, so now I have like a bunch of new people.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm TikTok famous, baby. That's why I moved to LA.
Awesome. Well, I'm
All
sure
right.
we'll talk again soon, Kyle.
Hell yeah. All right, see you guys.
Bye.